Hi guys, it's Shell, Sunbury Housewives. Welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Hit the subscribe button to see future videos. I post new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. So today I am actually not doing a Christmas video, but a beautiful tumbler nonetheless. So I'm starting with a 20-ounce sublimation tumbler. And I have this beautiful vinyl. That's what this is called. I got it from It's Pretty Personal. And there was a specific part of this pattern of vinyl that I really wanted to use. So I also have some spray paint that matched perfectly with this vinyl that I really wanted to use as well. So yeah, I'm using Rust-Oleum. And I just thought it perfectly matched the vinyl. And so it just happened to be. So yeah, there is a specific part of this vinyl that I just had to use. And so I'm first going to start off with taping my tumbler. I'm going to do 2 stripes up at the top and 2 stripes up at the bottom. So that's what I'm doing here, is just taping it off to prepare for first placing the vinyl and then for painting. Now this took me probably about 2 days to paint because I had to make sure that that paint was perfectly dry before I could move on to the next painting, so that I didn't ruin the paint from the previous, because I had to tape over the paint. Yeah, it was a process. So this tumbler definitely took me a while to do. So here I am taping off the last stripe, and then I'm going to be able to get my vinyl ready. So I'm not painting the middle, obviously, but I am measuring to see how much I want to go ahead and cut, just an eyeball. But I knew that I wanted well, you'll see. I don't want to have to try to explain it, but I'm cutting off the part that I don't want. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut off, almost cut my flower that I do want. That would have been bad, but I'm going to cut just below where I do want, so that I have a little bit of overhang on either side so that I can cut off. So that teal, blue, and that pink flower I really wanted. So, I just thought those two were just absolutely gorgeous. And that was kind of the 2 paints that really stood out to me that I had. And then that sage green, I just happened to have also. So I wanted to incorporate them 3. So as you can see, I'm lining up my vinyl on either side of that tape, just hanging over a little bit so that I can cut off the excess. And here I'm lining up the vinyl to get it as straight as can be. If it's a little off, no big deal, because I'm going to cut it off anyway. So I'm cutting off a little bit of that backing, putting it on the back, lining up around just to make sure that it's lined up. And then I'm going to pull away that backing and secure it down, and then use my little squeegee to lay it down to help eliminate as many bubbles as possible. And then find where that seam is and cut off the excess, and then cut away to the side. Now here where I cut away, there was a lot of overhang, so I thought I'll just cut away just a little bit more. Well, apparently I'm gonna address the bottom and the top first, but I ended up doing a big boo-boo. And I'm so mad at myself, but I did end up, in the end, covering up that boo-boo, which I ended up loving. So I'm cutting away the excess from the top and the bottom of each of those vinyls using the tape as a guide. And then I will move to cutting away that excess in the middle. So I'm just using my thumbnail as a creasing it so I can really see where that tape line is. And that just helps guide to really get a good clean cut. And then pulling that away. So instead of having a big bump where that excess line was, I was cutting, I thought, close enough to that line. And as I pull away, I can see, no, I pulled too much of it or cut too much of it away. So I would have left some of that white exposed. And I was so mad because I thought I had done good at, I really didn't. So I kept trying to find solutions. Well, I ended up coming up with a solution with my decal in the end. So here I'm taking the wider painter's tape and I'm going to completely cover up this vinyl so that when I go to spray paint, I am not going to mess up my gorgeous vinyl, because that would be bad. So then I'm going to take it outside and to start to spray paint. I'm going to start with the sage green at the very bottom and at the very top. And then I move into the pink and then that teal. So then, of course, I didn't take you out with me. But then, okay. So my first solution was, I was hoping I was just going to completely epoxy over the whole thing and use this cheat glitter, which I believe I used ice, which was hoping that the ice would cover up my little boo-boo. And at first I thought it worked. But then once you epoxy over the cheat glitter, it kind of brightens it back up because it gave a very frosty look. And I thought, oh, I'm loving that. But once you epoxy over a cheat glitter, it brightens it back up and you could see it bright as, plain as day. So that wasn't going to work. So that's when I came up with my vinyl to fix that. So here I am using Ice by the Glitter Guy, and I loved using this. It looked, I wish I could have kept it a frosty look because that was amazing. I mean, it's still, you can still see the frostiness, but it wasn't as frosty. Anyway, so I'm completely glittering the whole thing using ice, and we'll set it off to completely cure. Once that's cure, I will give it 2 coats of epoxy before moving on to the next step. And I absolutely love it. I'll give you a close-up of what it looks like. Look how beautiful that is. Well, you can still see that little oopsie. But, yeah, love it. It's beautiful. Okay, so after 2 coats of epoxy, it's time to move on to the vinyl work. So I had cut out this light gray vinyl and a light pink vinyl, which I thought worked perfectly with this tumbler. So I'm going to start with the light gray, which is cut out just a little bit bigger than the light pink. So the light gray will be the base of the vinyl, and I'm going to line each of the lines to separate each band and the vinyl. And then cut off the excess for each of that. And then the light pink will go on top of the gray. And I had cut out, I'm not sure what width. I mean, for the length, I cut out 11.5. But I want to say the gray might have been 0.1. I actually don't even know. I would have to look it up. And I think I deleted the file because I cut them different every single time. So don't quote me on any of that. And then the pink I'm laying on top of that and cutting it off. And I cut them all off at the same side so that it's all uniform. And then once I get all of those done, I will move on to fixing the oopsie. Probably could have sped this part up a lot more so you're not sitting here watching me just spin a tumbler with putting lines on. I find that relaxing. I don't know about everybody else. And now I'm just rambling. And then the decal, the word faith, I found on Creative Fabrica. And then, so I cut that out and I did an offset for it. And I made it the size of the entire line of the back of my oopsie so that it would cover it up. And I figured that was the best way to fix my oopsie. And it worked out perfectly. And so after I get that put on, I do seal all of my vinyl work with the CC DIY quick coat so that none of that lifts, and then give it 2 final coats of epoxy. And so, yeah, I love how this turned out. It's absolutely beautiful. Of course, I say that about all of mine, but I'm biased, so. But this will be available on the site as well, and I really hope that you did enjoy this video. If you did, I would appreciate it if you give it a great big thumbs up. And I truly, from the bottom of my heart, absolutely appreciate all of your support. And I just love you all so much. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.